So, welcome back to our new session altogether. So, today we are going to talk about how to create a RAG AI agent and why it is important and why it is needed. Do we have really need to create a RAG agent when we already have AI agent and agentic AI workflows available? So, indeed, yes, it is needed when we are searching or when we are trying to work on any enterprise level, data which should not be moved to outside world, like for banking and healthcare sector. The LLMs, if you ask any information from LLMs, it will help do hallucinate, and it will create a lot of problems when we ask any information, and the information gets updated pretty you know pretty soon, right? So that is the reason we need to train our models or train our approach from the enterprise level approach. So only LLMs are not enough to get that enterprise level retrieval and correlation. So that is the reason RAG connects to your retrieve manner, and then your enterprise knowledge repository with some evidence, and then add the embeddings to it, and then LLM massage the data and give it back to the users. So as we are trying to say, what is RAG? RAG is a retrieval augmented generation. So it will retrieve the data from your knowledge repository, which is stored in vector database, which we'll talk about. And the LLM will help to get that data from the vector database, augment it, and then LLM massage the data, give it back to the user, right? So that is importance of RAG and how it really works. So user asks a query that suppose something happened in the board meetings of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, which is not publicly available, or for any other meeting. So those are getting stored in the vector database in the form of chunks, and embeddings are there to convert those chunks into machine readable format like zeros and ones. And suppose that question is being asked, and is there in three chunks, chunk one, two, three. So those chunks are being fed back to the LLM, combining those context, and then with RAG we will get a proper response. And without RAG, it might say that I am not able to have the enterprise level details. That is the reason RAG is important for creating any requirements if it is related to the company's internal policies or documents. And this is again the basic RAG that we are going to talk about. If you have data in URLs, PDFs, and database, those can be converted into different chunks, which will be stored in vector database. And then after putting in embeddings, then if user is asking any query, those data is being read from chunks. And then after putting an augmented prompt by LLM, the response is given back to the users in a human readable format. So why vector database is important? Because vector database gets your raw data, put an embedding, convert it into a zero ones form vector embedding, and then it will store to vector database, which is not possible in your relational and NoSQL DB. Moving on, we are using Supabase Vector DB in today's workshop because it is easy to do. It is a SaaS based thing. You can quickly do things with no code. So we are going to create RAG agent in a no code fashion rather than writing any code today. So this is the RAG searchable. User asks, user query will go to vector DB, and then LLM answers that thing, and then it saves your thinking process, and vector DB helps in getting the enterprise level content. It's pretty evident why we are doing comparison between RAG agent and AI agent, but still, whenever we have enterprise level requirements, we should go with RAG. And when we have any requirement which is not enterprise level, then we can follow AI agent or agentic AI workflow where we do plan and action from that matter, right? So that is pretty much on to the theory. I always keep my theory pretty fast so that we are not spending time too much on theory. And today we'll be doing a no code based RAG agent creation on the NA10. And I am using the Supabase Vector DB. So you can log into Supabase Vector DB from Google, create a project. I created a test project, and then we'll be using everything in this test project. Now, my requirement is I have a PDF which is either in my Google Drive or in my local drive called as, Rules of Golf. So it's a 162 page PDF which I'll be putting into my Vector DB, and then I'll ask certain questions from Vector DB about golf, and let's see whether it is able to give answers or not. Perfect. So let me close this. Let me come back to my uh, system. So first step is to get that PDF into your N10 workflow. So you need to add this Google uh, drive section, and then add after it, and then add download a file. You can see the same icon. The moment you click this, this will come here. I want to save times. The moment you double click, you need to connect your Google Drive account. You can find any n number of videos how to connect anytime to a Google Drive account, or I will create another session that how to create a Google Drive account. You need to create API key. That's it, pretty simple. The moment you create your Google Drive account, this PDF is already saved in my Google Drive. So this is being connected route, right? And then the moment I connect it to this, this PDF will get inserted to my N10 workflow. After that, since PDF is there, I will go back and then fed this PDF into a Supabase Vector DB. Uh, Supabase Vector DB. I will select this icon, and then I will say add documents to my vector store. Now this is a very important step. You need to add again, connect to your Supabase account. If you don't know how to create it, you can create new credentials. I'll create another session, or you can find it how to get it done. And then you can create your Supabase connection from here. Now, now Supabase is connected, which is good. Now you need to create a table. So you need to open these docs and then select this quick start for setting up a vector database. The moment you are here, you need to copy paste this entire two SQLs, which you need to run in your Supabase SQL editor. The moment you come here, you need to copy paste this query and then simply run it without RLS, because we are doing a POC. The moment you will run this, it will create your two tables, the documents table. We'll talk about this. It will create a document table where our PDF will get loaded. Now, the moment this is being connected, I will cancel this. Okay. This is the one that I was talking about. Now, the chunks needs to be created. So I will select this. There are two things, embeddings and documents. So the moment you click embeddings, you need to select this open base embeddings OpenAI, which will convert your human readable formats to your Supabase. Let me just first of all add that icon again so that I can explain you. Supabase Vector DB, right? This is the add document. So this is the one I was talking about, right? The moment I cancel this, so this is the one. So you need to embed the embedding. The moment you click this, you can select OpenAI embeddings like this, and then you can connect your OpenAI account. If you don't have it, you can create a new credentials. Creating credentials in OpenAI is very simple. I will put down into the description, and then you can select it, save it. Your OpenAI is being added in this. And then how do you do? You need to do a default data loader, which will load your data from binary and then leave everything as it is, and then it will create all the binary chunks of your data. So this is what it is done here. And then let me open this and let me show you the execution, hoping that it should not fail. Normally things fail when you do demo. So it will actually chunk your data, your PDF file, as binary, and it will load this data into different chunks into your DB, the Supabase vector DB. And then let's see how many chunks are getting created during this generation. So 476 chunks has been created, and then it is sent to your Supabase vector DB. This is the one where every content is being stored with an embedding vector. The moment we'll ask anything, it will go to this vector and it will return the result, right? Now this is what you have connected your Supabase DB. Now we need a AI agent chat base so that we can talk to our so I click on AI agent. Again, I will cancel this. I will put a brain inside this AI agent. I will click this. I will put OpenAI, the same thing, chat model, and then you can connect your account and the moment, and you can select this default GPT 4.1 mini model. Now this is your brain is being connected, and then if you want to, then tool is something your Supabase Vector DB. Then again you need to click this and then give the same things that we have given in the last step, and then we close this, then this node is your ready. So let me open and show it to you here. so that things become easy. So this is your AI agent, right? And then we have connected a chat trigger, and it has a chat model. It has memory and it has a tool. So tool is something which we will see. Yeah, this is the Supabase vector store, and it has an embeddings connected to it. So you don't need to create another embeddings. You can use the existing embedding that you have done when you were creating chunks. So what is this? You need to connect this account. That's it. And in the description, you need to write call this tool to look up the rules of goal. This is just for description for your benefit, and give the table document that you have created it in your previous step. And there are up to four limit chunks it can search. And then if you want, you can re-rank the result, right? But it will take another additional tokens. So this step is done. Perfect. So let me try something if it is really working or if it is failing in my demo. So I will open this chat, right? Open this chat. I will say hi. So now this chat is going. It is opening an OpenAI chat model. Hello, how can you assist today? So you can see the things that is happening behind the scenes. It has gone to Postgres. Oh, I forgot to tell. So you can add a memory also to this. You can add Postgres memory, which is already there in your Supabase Vector DB. Right now, I will ask proper question. How can I play practice in golf during games? So now I'm asking a proper question. Now it is going to the OpenAI chat model. Okay, it might go to your Supabase Vector DB. Okay, so I think there was some problem. I execute the complete workflow. So what I ran, can you please tell me rules of goal for 2019, please? So 2019 rule for goals updated on June 2020 covers the following pointers. So now it has actually get into, first of all, it went to the my OpenAI chat model, then it went to your embeddings, and then it searched all the chunks, and then again it came back to your OpenAI thing, and then those chunks have been modified properly. So let me ask something else. If it is not, can I play practice in between games? So now it is again showing you the right hand side how this is working. So yeah, it is going to your Superbase embeddings and then giving the output. Perfect. So this is what I want to show. Now one more thing that I want to tell you. Suppose if I open a chat and then I reset my chat, why keeping memory is important. I will put hi, then it will give me your name. My name is Bhupesh. How are you? Okay. Show you the knowledge thing. Hello, who am I? And now I will ask, who am I? Now it will try to get the details from the. You mentioned your name is Bhupesh. Now, how he got to know the details? Because we have added the Postgres chat memory database into this. So whatever you are asking, it will store into memory, just like Chat GPT. So this RAG agent is storing your memory, and then it is doing that job. So that is pretty much. I want to show a no code RAG based AI agents. You can take it to a next level if you want. And if you really like this video, please hit a like and put your comment so that I can get your feedback. And whatever additional videos are needed for this, I will create, like how to connect to Supabase Vector DB, how to connect to Google Cloud, Google. Those are the two things. OpenAI is already there. So stay tuned, and thank you for now. Bye bye.